All right, welcome into the Chase and Big Joe show on this absolutely beautiful Monday in Music City, USA. Big Joe alongside Dr. Gray. Chase McCabe be here in just a little bit. He's on assignment. He'll be here about 1 o'clock today, so we'll get the day rolling. Thanks to Jake and Connor, Fernand Parker for Next Man Up. We're rolling today. I hate waking up to the news this morning. There was a bad accident on I-40 out in Hermitage, out in my area. Closed in. I don't know if the interstate's still closed. It's been closed. When I came in, it was closed. That was 2 hours ago. It's been closed for 7 hours. If it's fatality today out there. So prayers for all involved out there. I just hate waking up to that. So, man, that's just a rough way to start the day. Dr. Crane, good afternoon to you, brother.
Good afternoon to you, Joseph. Hopefully your weekend was fantastic.
Weekend was good. Lots of football happening. And I'm just delaying getting into talking about the Titans from last night for what I saw, because I got to tell you, and I know it was hammered on Robbie and Rexo, which, by the way, is my favorite radio show. Next Man Up with Jake. That was awful. What I saw last night was absolutely awful, and then half the internet's like, you're stupid. Half the internet's like, they're going to go 0-17. We're all in this together, because if you thought what you saw last night was decent, I'd like to hear from you. I'd like what you to tell me was decent, because anytime the number twos on a team can push around your number ones, that is a bad performance. All right. And that's just the overall team. I'm a big believer in Cam Ward. We're going to get to this for the next 3 hours. But my guy, your ball security and ball awareness, what's happening, is not good right now. And will it get better? I need to ask Tim Hasselbeck. Do you get better when you don't understand ball security? Because now it's 2 years. He did in college. He's got it here. Do you get better with this, or it is what it is?
To me, it seems like it is what it is, because he's created those habits throughout college at different stops in his career. And yeah, Eric Morris, as quarterback coach, has probably taught him certain things about the nuance of the position. But at the same time, you're in the NFL now. You have to understand pocket awareness. You have to understand, like you just said, ball security, all those things. And if you can't continue to capitalize on that, right, then you're going to really struggle in this league. And I thought it was really telling last night when Mega Livy, interviewed Cam Ward on the side and said, what are you, excited about with Brian Daboll? And he said, he's just allowing me to grow as a player. Well, obviously not, because we're seeing that on the first half. The ball security's not there. And there was another play where he rolled out to the right, and I'm thinking, throw the ball away. Yes. It's gone. You don't go for the 3-yard gain to throw to Alec Alexander. The play is gone.
Right. They got and he just keeps drifting back and back. And look, I'm not a quarterback. I know football pretty well, though, but you got to stop driving. Next thing you know, you're 18 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you get sacked. Not saying it happened last night, but we saw it last year do a lot of things. But we'll get into all that. What got me was, and I remember this years ago when I called out a team for having no effort, and a coach called in and said, "How dare you? My team had effort," and coaches get really upset when you tell their team doesn't have effort. There was no effort last night, at least what I saw from the Titans. Now, effort's a wide, broad brush of things, but I didn't see any excitement, any energy, any let's go get out. I didn't see that. And if it's a preseason game, then why are we playing preseason games? Just do joint practices and get into the regular season. I don't understand that. I just didn't see that oomph last night. Am I missing that? Maybe I am. I don't know.
No, I think you're spot on. Like the attitude and effort of the team, it definitely had its moments. Like in the second half, I thought the defense did a really good job against, it's the backups for the Titans along with the backups for Seattle. But I thought overall these guys that are trying to fight for their spot on the back end of this roster did a really good job. As for the starters, though, it was not a good look. Even on the defensive side of the ball, I think Cordell Flott still needs to prove himself. Wow. I'm getting very, very concerned with that secondary, and especially at that position.
I agree with you on that, too. And so there are a lot of questions with this football team. So we're getting to the question of the day, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. We like to have fun with these questions of the day, but Dr. Crane and I talk, we just got to know, what's your level of concern? I know it's only been 2 preseason games, and the season's not for 20 more days. But what you see, what's your level of concern right now? I mean, I don't see them improving anything going forward. Should we not pay attention to the Bears game and just worry about the Jets on the 13th? And then on the 14th, we can react. I mean, is that what we need to do now? Is like, all right, we don't need to see any more Just see us, because half of me was like, I'm ready for the Jets game. I want to see what you guys do against the Jets. That's all that matters right now. See what you can do. Can you go 1-0? That's the only thing. I know the Bears are coming to town, and that practice is Thursday because the game's Saturday at 5 at Nissan Stadium. Then there's a break. Then the Jets come. I don't know right now, and so I want to hear from you guys. What's your level of concern right now to see about this football team? Do you need to see Cam go out on this next Saturday and go 15 for 15 and lead 3 scoring drives? I don't know. It's something else I told you earlier. I hate hearing this narrative about Cam Ward because I don't care. It's always, well, Robert Saleh said he's the first guy in the building. Brian Callahan says he's the first guy in the building. I don't care. All I care about is, can you lead me on a scoring drive? Can you win football games for this football team? I don't give a damn if you come in at 9:30 as opposed to 4 o'clock. I don't care. Don't tell me how hard you're working. Show me. Show me on the field what you do. That's it. That was the thing with Belichick. There was like, well, so-and-so comes in early, so do that. And he's like, just do your job. Just do your job. Okay, when you come in, dude, it's always the default on the broadcast for players like, well, he's the first guy in the building. I don't care. So we'll talk about that today, getting to that. And Cam, I mean, look, he's a quarterback. He's talented. I believe I saw him in college just rifle the football and win huge games. Right? We got to see it now. I know his cast sucks. It's getting better. I get all that. But from 1 to 10, 1 being you're not worried, to 10 being, oh my gosh, I am absolutely worried. What is your level of concern right now on this football team? 615-737-1025. Dr. Crane, what is your level of concern from 1 to 10?
I think I'm there. I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8 for the concern level. Like I mentioned, the secondary is concerning. I don't think we've seen enough out of the defensive front with guys like Jeffrey Simmons and Solomon Thomas, and the rotating cast on the edge as well. You have Jermaine Johnson. I think Femi Oladejo, minus that one face mask penalty, I thought he was all right for the most part. I thought he fit majority of where he needed to be on the field. But you look at the rest of the team on the offense, the thing I have a big concern with is Carnell Tate. Obviously, it was like, one pass thrown to him in the first quarter. And I saw Terry McCormick on Twitter last night. He said from the press conference, Saleh said Titans are not scheming to get Carnell Tate open, said they are staying very vanilla with their very little motion and moving around. So to me, If you're a Titans fan, that's probably not what you want to hear. Obviously, you want to keep them healthy for the upcoming season, for the opener against the Jets. But if you're not scheming them, don't play them. Don't play them. Just use them for the joint practices. That's it. If you're not going to play them, then bye-bye.
It's a good point, right? So somebody said, well, the Titans did win the game. All right, that's fine. They did win. That's the goal, is to win the game. Great. They won. They're 2-0. First quarter, though, it's 16-3 Seahawks over the Titans. And that's their number 2s versus your number 1s, and you couldn't do anything. So here's the positive from last night. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. That's the level. Now you know what level you need to get to. That's it. So take away last night, the level you need to get to. I thought this is a great, that's a great teaching moment. That's what Saleh said last night, who, by the way, was cussing on an on-air press conference, which made me laugh on TV last night, because that guy he was supposed to win games. He doesn't care about the PC part of this. He dropped an S-bomb on, I was watching the press conference on Channel 5 last night, and made me laugh. I sat up and started laughing. But now you know where you are. You know what you got to get to. But when your number 2s are throttling your number 1s on both sides of the ball, yeah, I got a problem here.
I mean, to be fair, looking at it from the Seattle perspective, the backup offensive lineman, really good job getting a push off the ball, off the snap, getting at least 4 to 5 yards per carry. I think that's just that's textbook football. And the fact that your starting defensive line is getting blown off the ball like that, that is where why I'm at an 8 for concern. I'm
about a 7.5. I just think I thought I'd see some progression. Look, these guys have been together now for a month, and it's not getting there. Also, Tajay Spears on 4th and 1. No offense. He's about your size.
He's small.
Right?
Yeah.
He's not a between the tackles. Why do they keep doing that? Let him bounce outside. He's very hard to tackle outside the tackles. Why are you running him inside?
I was wondering the same thing. You took the words right out of my mouth. This guy can't run between the tackles. Hey, to be fair, Joe, this could be somewhat of a tempered take in some sense.
Right.
I think Julius Chestnut's running back 2 right now. From what I saw last night,
Yeah.
Tony Pollard, Julius Chestnut can run up and down the field perfectly fine. If you have Tajay Spears, who's somewhat injury prone in his last couple seasons,
right,
and can't seem to run in between the tackles and is only a one-trick pony getting a check down out of the backfield, there's no purpose on the field for him. I'm sorry.
I am with you on that. And I don't care if it's second, third, or fourth teamer. Effort. Julius Chestnut had effort last night. He was 8 carries, 48 yards. He had a 15-yard long run, but he had effort. And I love effort out of a guy. I don't mind that at all. He had effort. I don't care what level you're playing. You got effort.
He was finishing runs. I think that was the big thing that I was so impressed with. He was finishing runs. And the other factor of this, he can play special teams. Yes. He's a multifaceted player.
There you go.
That's what Bones Fossil loves. He loves those players that can play defense, offense, and then add to that special teams.
Keep going. You're right. You're right. Also, the Will Levis, that just where I'm out. I'm out. You know, I like the guy. At one point he could have been the guy, but I'm out. I mean, it's just doesn't look good. He looks very pressing with the ball. He tried to do an Elway / McNair in the corner and jump over everybody, then got up and looked at Seattle's bench like, what about that? And nobody cared. I'm out. It's done, right? And let's move forward on that. Am I wrong on this one too?
No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Looking at the way Will Levis played when he did make that diving 4th and 1 play,
yeah,
I thought it was like, we're gonna get another Will Levis meme moment online, and it was almost to that point. But no, I do think it's probably time to say, hey, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Yeah, it is. Some of the text like Cameron, level of concern is 8. Regarding Tate, if you have to scheme your number 4 overall pick open in order to catch a single pass against second and third stringers, then you're in major trouble. Cameron, you are absolutely spot on. 5745 says, I want to see Saleh be successful, but the Titans not good. As a South Carolina alumni, I know something about terrible OCs. Dayball reminds me of Mike Shula, who single-handedly took away everything Lenore Sellers and the Carolina running game could do. I feel like I was watching Dayball call plays like Shula. Example, running a small running back up the middle. Ridiculous. Thank you, 5745. You could co-host a show with us anytime. 3337-4. Not totally concerned. It is early. Everything is new. The preseason is for learning. We thought really had something with Will Levis and Callaghan 2 years ago. You're right. I will give you that. And that's the problem, 3337. Do we not look at the Bears game and say, all right, now let's just worry about the Jets. Figure out the Jets. Let's react on that Sunday. We know what the Titans got to do. We'll see it at Nissan Stadium, noon on that Sunday, and go. That's the quandary that we're in right now, of the concern of like, all right, we've seen what this team can do. We've seen what this team cannot do. Now let's just worry about the Jets and go forward. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle right there, but I keep seeing the not good things out of your quarterback and the ball security and dropping back 25 yards. I don't know. All right. Tommy, also, Tay was open more than once. Cam doesn't look. I was in nosebleed, so I had the eye view. I love Cam, but he's not it. It's from Tommy. He stares down and he throws to every play. He had guys open but doesn't look, and our defense looked pathetic. 2-15. We'll be drafting another quarterback. I'm telling you, if this team's drafting the quarterback, Mike Borgonzi will not be here. I don't think they'll get rid of a coach, but that's all hypotheticals down the line. But I'm telling you, if you're drafting, if you're number 1 and you think you're going to pass up an Arch Manning, it ain't happening.
What I tell you last week, Joe, if this team does go draft for another quarterback, this is like Cleveland Browns 2.0 all over again.
The name's Deshaun Watson, the starter. Which is, what's your opportunity there?
I watched a little bit of that game on Saturday. I thought Shedeur Sanders looked pretty good. Like, I don't know where they see. I mean,
did you really? Every time I watch him play, I don't see it.
Well, I mean, in comparison to Deshaun Watson, I mean, let's be fair. If we're trying to compare both these quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders might be definitely better than a guy like Deshaun Watson.
7636 is an 8 for sure on my level of concern. The team has been bad for so long that I've also grown apathetic to what the team does for the year. If I cared, but 0 for the most part. I get you right there. And that's the problem. Do we just worry about the game now? We see what they got to do and get there. I'm just upset about the effort from last night. All right, we'll take more of your calls and texts. 615-737-1025. The Tennessee Vols have named a starting quarterback, and we had coaching malpractice on Friday night, and I'm going to announce my candidacy for president in 2028 running on the single platform of this one thing when it comes to football. That is my entire platform as a president. We'll tell you what it is when we come back. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show, brought to you by our friends at the Omni Nashville Hotel, right on 102.5 The Game. All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe Show. This is your show. We want to hear from you today, 615-737-1025. Let's go to the phone line. Tim, welcome in. Tim, what is your level of concern on this football team that plays downtown?
About a 12. Listen, and this deal with Cam Ward. When you draft a number one pick in the draft, it should be a cannot-miss pick. Right now, Cam Ward is a miss pick. He's had 22 games, 3 preseason games last year, 17 regular season, and 2 games this year. He's not improved any.
Well,
we're still doing the same stuff he did last year.
What concerns you most about Cam Ward?
Well, they're saying right now what we're doing is we're running a very vanilla offense. Well, what's going to happen when they open up the book?
True.
If he can't run this, we're in deep doo-doo. Because if you can't carry a ball and get a linebacker come from behind and catch you and knock it out, if he'd have knocked it out right, they would have scored.
That's true. That is a massive concern.
That is stuff you don't do. That you learn that in pee-wee ball. You don't carry a ball like that. I mean, he may be, and it seems like he is the great guy in the locker room. All this, and I don't have any bad words to say about him. I just think he's in over his head.
You know what? He's got a year to prove it to me now. But what I've seen in the first 2 preseason games, I'm not sold, and I really like the kid. I'm just not sold on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like him too. I want him to do good, but it's scary when the coach keeps saying we're not doing anything. We're just running vanilla. And right now, Carnell Tate hasn't showed anything either.
Be a long year, Tim. It could be a long year. Tim, thanks, Bubba.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, Tim with the call again, 615-737-1025. You're concerned about Cam Ward. By the way, 12:30, Nashville SC head coach Brian Callaghan.
BJ Callaghan.
Who did I say?
Brian. You're thinking of,
is it Brian?
It's BJ Callaghan.
Well, what's the B stand for?
Sure, it's Brian, yes.
All right, BJ.
He goes by BJ, okay?
All right, BJ Callaghan will join us at 12:30. They're doing well, right?
Best team in the MLS. Let's doing well. Yes, they're the best team.
Look at you, tough guy.
49 points in the Eastern Conference and leading all of MLS. They're doing pretty good.
Well, I will watch you in your element when he comes on here a little bit to do that.
Okay.
We'll continue all the Cam Ward stuff. Tennessee Vols have named a quarterback. Faison Brandon, not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Be the first true freshman to start a game in Knoxville in 2004 since Brent Schaefer. I think Eric Ainge was a freshman too on that team as well in 2004. So that doesn't happen a lot around there. And by the way, Peyton Manning did not start the season in 1994 as he came on. Like he was the 4th quarterback that year. So he did not start the season as starting quarterback because they played at UCLA. Jerry Colquitt was the quarterback back there. You surprised about Faison Brandon? I'm not.
No. I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall with George McIntyre not being, up to par with the offense and just not excelling this past offseason. And I think it's also a little bit with the weight. From what I've read online, I think he hadn't really gained the poundage that they needed at the quarterback position. So,
right.
And Faison Brandon just seems to be more elaborate with the offense.
And all that too. And here's something then that I don't like. I don't like guys leaving their senior year to go to college. I had so much fun the last part of my senior year that I almost didn't graduate. I mean, I had fun, right? I think kids that last part of your senior year, stay in high school. Stay in high school. Don't give me that. You got to be in. Nah, you're good. Don't do that. And a lot of guys, and I get why a lot of guys do that. I would never do that.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to early enroll, get involved with the practices for bowl games and all that. I understand it, but at the same time, you're going to have all offseason to do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Also, I'm going to run for president in 2028. Here's my entire platform. If I'm elected president and you're on the 1-yard line and your football team runs a shotgun, your coach needs to get fired. He'll be fired. I'll have a law, he'll be fired.
Yeah, what school and what coach did that this past Friday? I'm just curious.
Lipscomb had the ball at the half-yard line, not the 1, the half-yard line. Last play of the game, and they did a shotgun from the half-yard line. I have watched the tape 150 times. When that quarterback got the ball at the 4.5, the running back got the ball at the 5 with no head of steam. The time he got to the 2, he met a wall of Macaulay defenders and was knocked down, didn't score. Now, so it's like, well, the ball got reached over. Well, there are 2 referees right there looking right down the line, thought differently. He did not score. I don't coaches. And I'm going to get on Hasselbeck tomorrow. I love him, but this is a healthy football debate. It was a debate all weekend I had with people. Why? Why are you calling that? Why are you doing that? And the argument is like, well, the quarterback doesn't go under center. We had Monday through Thursday, you got this thing, I think, called practice. You could practice this with a quarterback on the 1 yard line and run the play, right? And I couldn't tell from that angle if the damn line were in a 2-point. I'm like, why is your, and so I said, well, they're in a 3-point. Good. I would have them in a 4-point stand and say, you've got one job, is to drive that other team back half a yard. My running back will get the push. Go. I don't understand this, Dr. Crane. It's football, not rocket science.
I mean, when you get to the high school football of it all, for me, just trying to look at it from the kids' perspective, and I see why all these coaches are changing to the spread offense. I want to throw the ball a lot. I get that. These kids are not as big as they used to be in the early 2000s, mid 2010s. The body composition is a little bit different, and that also is a lack of maturity from not only the players but the coaching staff, not getting the right, physical equipment to get these guys all beefed up and ready to go for football season.
Yeah.
I just think that they've changed the narrative of football. I think every single high school football coach needs to have a jumbo package. They have to.
Sure. And one of the best things I hated playing football in high school was the board drill. But I understood the board drill.
I love the board drill.
Is to drive that guy back. Your offensive line could drive that guy back. But when you're giving the running back the ball at the 5 yard line with no head of steam, I just don't get it.
Would you not want to put your largest defensive lineman in at fullback and just have him bulldoze right through the line?
See, I'm not a fan of that.
Really?
Because if the line blows up and they go through, that large guy doesn't move well, he's stuck.
Sure, he takes up the A and B gap, for sure.
So I want my 5 up front and say, just drive guys and get in the end zone. Or the quarterback can leap over something. I think tush pushes are allowed in high school football, which I'm fine with, or at least in the state of Tennessee. I'm not sure that's allowed. That's illegal, whatever. But stop snapping the ball from the half-yard line and shotgun. Stop doing it. Now I'm hot. I'm mad. And we got a good interview coming up next, right?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Next is Nashville SC head coach BJ Callaghan, the best team in the MLS right now at 49 points. And we'll get to them next on the other side, right here on the Chase McJoe Show.
Got it, buddy.
102.5 game.
All right, welcome back to the Chase and Big Joe show right here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing just a little bit, having a lot of fun today on this beautiful Monday. Now, I've already got this problem. I probably shouldn't say this, Dr. Crane, with the coach on the phone, but I've already got my seat picked out for the ticker tape parade when Nashville SC wins the MLS Cup downtown. So just with that positivity out there, let's bring in the head coach of Nashville SC, BJ Callaghan. Coach, good afternoon to you. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, you're off to your team's doing great. You're in first place. Things are going well. Does a coach know when he's got something special? Do you know that you have something special over with this soccer team?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you just sort of look at the guys we have in the locker room and how connected they are, and how committed they are to sort of the bigger vision and the level of selflessness that they kind of go about their business each and every day. Yeah, you know that you've got a really strong group that can, I think, continue to do what they're doing and can achieve some special things.
Nashville SC head coach BJ Callaghan is online with us. BJ, when it comes to the points in the standings, 49 points, most in MLS history through 21 matches. At what point in the season did you just kind of feel like, for your side, it clicked? The system clicked. The players are just understanding everything well with the formations. At what point do you think it all clicked for them?
I mean, I still think we're still a little bit of a work in progress, but I know, I think the group has great confidence because the things that we say we want to do, we're able to do, and we can count on everybody across the team. And we've shown that throughout the season so far, that any guy that we put in, the next man up kind of mentality, is able to kind of elevate our play. And so as we constantly look to get a little bit better in different areas of the game, the starting points are that everybody's on the same page and everybody has the opportunity to contribute here.
BJ, I know you've mentioned in previous press conferences after matches and so forth that, you guys look for different player profiles in certain guys on the roster. But a guy that's been with Nashville SC since the very beginning, Hani Mukhtar, he had his 200th appearance in regular season play for the Boys in Gold. Just what has he meant for you just in this transition process of being the head coach of this team since you getting here to Nashville?
Yeah, I think Hani embodies everything that we want to be, and that's why he's the captain this year, right? The work that he puts in on and off the field is completely dedicated to Nashville and his performances. And for us, I think he does it from a selfless place, elevates his teammates. He's willing to do some of the dirty work, the running off the ball, the defending, but at the same time still finds moments to make big plays by scoring goals and setting up goals like he did on Saturday night.
And then to add on to that, obviously the last couple of games have been very thrilling in some aspects. 1-0 win on the road, and then you're here in Nashville. And I feel like the fans, obviously, what make the sport, what make the team for sure. But that 3-2 comeback. Well, I went back and listened to a little bit of the clip on Apple TV, and they mentioned, heard you saying, Andy, 2 minutes, just give me the best 2 minutes you have, and he ends up scoring the game winner. I mean, what were your thoughts after giving the words of encouragement and then seeing the result?
Yeah, I think first you bring up the fans. I think there's a great connection between our players, our club, and the city right now. It's been intentional. We've tried to build this team and play a style that it sort of mimics what Nashville is all about. And always when we're winning, you feel the support. But when you have a little bit of adversity, like we did the other night, going down 2-1, that's when you see the collective, the fans, the club, and the players all kind of align together. And then it culminates there in that last 2 minutes. Andy Nahar is a guy who's put in a ton of effort. What we do as coaches, and that's what you hope from the fans. They just give you a strong push, put a hand on your back to maybe send you a little bit further than you might think you can go at that moment. And luckily, Andy was able to make a huge play, and all credit to him for that.
You've had 13 players that put the ball in the back of the net. Is that something you strive for? Because I've always told, look, I don't care how we score, just score. I don't care who scores, somebody score. Is that a plus for your soccer team that 13 different guys have scored?
Yeah, we have a saying: everybody attacks and everybody defends. And so we all have our roles and responsibilities, but within that, we all have the requirement that if we have our moment and we want to go hunt our moment, we're trying to find ways to score goals. And so to get contributions at big times through all different types of phases, whether that's attacking set pieces, transitions, normal play, everyone's going to have the opportunity to contribute. And I think you're seeing that across the board this season with the group.
I know you can't control the schedule and time off. I know everybody had the time off for the World Cup, but I think you guys came back, Coach, after the World Cup with as much excitement, passion, desire as you did when you left. Was that a plus, a little time off, because it made your team realize, look, we got something special here in Nashville?
Yeah, there was a period there. We had played a lot of games before the break. We'd sort of gotten hit a little bit with the injury bug towards the end of that first phase of the season. The time off came at a good time for us to get healthy and sort of recharge mentally and physically. And I thought we were able to kind of come out in this second part of the season with this, I would say, the same mentality, which is to continue to climb the standings the best we can, but also with this idea, like, we still have areas to get better, and we know we've got a bunch of games left, and we're not going to be satisfied. We're always going to remain humble, but at the same time hungry.
BJ, obviously you've mentioned before what the player profile is, but a guy like Ali Assad, who's come into the equation of just how this offense is shaping and those overlapping runs on the outside with Reed Baker Whiting, a player that's not playing right now is Warren Madrigal. Obviously, you don't put a number on the status of when they would come back in some cases, but how is he progressing along with his injuries to come back?
Yeah, Warren is doing well in his rehab, working hard. And again, this is part of it. These are the journey of a season. And kind of, how we take it a little bit by turning the page each day. And we know, looking down the stretch, 13 games left in the regular season, we're going to ask for more guys to count on. And then when Warren's able to get back, he's only going to be able to sort of elevate our level of play at probably the most important time of the year.
Coach, what's the best thing about this team off the field that you love so much about your guys?
I think it's their resiliency and their relentlessness. Right in the beginning of the year, they sort of committed themselves to each other and to a vision that's bigger than each guy's own individual ambitions, and I think that's really important. I think it's really important that guys have their own ambitions, but it's not in front of what the team needs and the club needs. And they're committed to becoming an elite team in North America. And each and every day they come to work to do it, and they roll their sleeves up. And I think you see that in all the different ways that we're winning games right now.
BJ, appreciate the time today to join Big Joe and I on the Chase Big Joe show. You guys take on FC Cincinnati coming up this Saturday at 7:30 at Geodis Park. Once again, unbeaten at Geodis Park, the only team in MLS. That is another reason to go out to Geodis Park and watch this team play. BJ, appreciate the time as always, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on and the support. Thanks.
That is head coach BJ Callaghan with the Nashville SC, 49 points in MLS standings.
Be honest, this team got what it takes. Be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
After Saturday night's win, the way that they came back in just a minute and a half time, they had 6 minutes of added time. Okay. 90th minute, 2-1. They're down. 93rd minute, they score. Sam Surge goes in to grab the ball in the back of the net, puts it to the middle of the field again. Play resumes. Nashville gets possession again. Jason Palacios, the center back's running down the field. You have Andy Nahar that grabs the ball from a pass from Palacios. He puts it in the back of the net. The place explodes with just joy. I've never heard, it's the second time I've heard that place erupt like that. First one was back in the Leagues Cup when Sam Surridge had that late game winner in the 97th minute.
Look at you. So all right. So listen, they got 13 more games.
Yeah.
Their last game is like November the 7th or something like that. I saw that correctly.
I mean, if you look at it, November the 7th, it's a away game at FC Cincinnati. So if you look at it from a book standpoint, here's chapter 1 against FC Cincinnati this Saturday, and the last chapter to the book is against FC Cincinnati away.
How long are the playoffs? I don't know anything about this. I rely on you.
It basically goes through till December for the most part. Yeah, so it's a good distance.
It's February till December if you're lucky enough. Then at least you get January off, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't go deep into December. It's like to the very beginning of December, so late November.
All right, how many teams make the playoffs? Honestly, I don't know any of this, and I should know this. Don't you dare run away from me. This will be dead air.
I'm not going to run away from you. I'm looking at it right now. It starts November the 18th, and it goes, I was right, December the 18th, middle of December. I need to go with my gut on this. Yeah, that's how long it'll last.
How many teams get in the playoffs?
It basically, you get about 9 teams on each side, if I'm correct. Yeah, that is correct. Single elimination of the wild card matches. Round 1 is the best of 3, and that goes through November 20th to December the 2nd. And then, you have your MLS Cup December 18th. So basically, it's like a that's the thing I don't like about MLS. It's best of 3 in the first round, and then you have your basically back and forths. So, which is just unnecessary. I get it. It's like a different format, but just stick to the soccer format.
So is the final, is there like one game, like a Super Bowl, or is it like best 2 out of 3?
No, final. It's a final.
So they come from different directions and they
east and west, boom, right down the middle.
Okay, I don't mind. So is that the home team with a better record they host?
So because Nashville SC are first place in all of MLS, Eastern and Western Conference, they would have basically sole possession of hosting a championship, the league championship here.
I mean, how badass would that be mid-December, Geodis Park hosting the MLS championship? Get out of here.
It's a special thing. And obviously we have the Nashville Predators. Nashville Cats won an AF1 championship, don't get me wrong. Tennessee Titans.
I get no. There's different levels, tiers of championship. I understand.
But Nashville SC,
it's a big deal.
What they're doing right now, obviously, some may discredit or not look at the U.S. Open Cup championship the same as MLS play, which is understandably so. But they're doing something very, very special.
Where are I thought we were getting jerseys like Big Joe and McCabe and Frazier.
You did last year. I call those the Opry Lane jerseys. Those are great.
I know, but I'll tell you what my coach told me. If what you did yesterday still looks good today, you haven't done much.
That's true.
So make some calls. Get some New Jerseys over here. Hell, we'll even bring Tempo over for a day. The real thing. Is that a coyote?
Yes, it is a coyote.
Yeah, we'll have him sitting with you guys in the producer studio and put him in a cage. All right, we'll come back. Thanks again for BJ Callaghan, Nashville SC, for joining us. Dr. Crane, thank you for setting that up. More reaction on the Titans, 615-737-1025. More reaction on shotgun snaps from the half-yard line, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you, shotgun snaps will put me into an early grave. And I'm not going to let that happen. And the Vols have named a new quarterback. When will Vanderbilt name a starting quarterback? We'll talk about that. All things football today, right here on the Jason Big Joe Show. All right, many thanks to Nashville SC coach Brian Callaghan for joining us. I do have my spot picked out for the ticker tape parade on 2nd Avenue outside Doc Holliday Saloon when they make that turn. Right, they better go up 2nd Avenue. They better do the same route that the Titans did after the Super Bowl when they lost back in 2000. Do that. So I'm right outside Doc Holliday's, 2nd and Broad, make the turn. We're right there.
Were you okay with that? The parade after the Super Bowl?
Was not.
Okay.
Was not.
I was just making sure.
Yeah. Not. Yeah. I don't celebrate 2nd place. We don't. Right. And that's like that's why I like some of the NHL things. Like, we don't care about the president's. We don't care about the president's trophy. We don't care about winning first place. We want the Stanley Cup, right? It should be like, I asked Derek Mason. So when you go to the Super Bowl, both teams get a ring, right? The Super Bowl champions get a ring, and then like the Patriots will get an AFC championship ring. I asked Derek Mason. I said, our Derek, not MTS, our Derek Mason. This has been a year or two. I said, hey man, where's your AFC championship ring? He's like, why? It's like, well, where is it? He's like, it's in a box. I never wear it. That's great. It's a great accomplishment. We didn't finish what we set out to get. And I was like, 20 years later, that still burns a hole in his bottom that he did not win this. And I love that. Your goal is the Super Bowl. I know Chase gets mad at me. I'm thinking, I don't make the playoffs, but your goal is to win the Super Bowl. That's your goal every year, is to win the Super Bowl, not to go 8-9, to win the Super Bowl. That's it. So I was not. It's a good follow up. Good question on that.
Well, thank you. And last night you talked about making the playoffs. Look at the Seattle Seahawks head coach. First season was 9-8. Following season, I think it was like 10-7. Then went 14-3, and then look at them now. Yeah. Super Bowl. So all those making the playoffs were metrics to getting them into where they wanted to be, the ultimate goal, and that's a Super Bowl.
That's fine, but you don't win.
Yeah, you don't celebrate a playoff berth.
Well, no. Matthew Stafford won the MVP last year, and like, what a great year. He's like, no, it wasn't. They're like, well, you did all this. He's like, we didn't win the Super Bowl. We did not win. I don't care what I did or what I threw. We did not win the Super Bowl. So I shouldn't be great. I'm MVP, but that was not our final goal. Our destination is to win the Super Bowl. That's it.
Spot on.
Thank you. Our question today is level of concern about the Titans. 1 being no concern. 10 about being concerned about this football team, what you've seen through 2 preseason games and just the effort last night. And and somebody's laughing because of the Brian Callaghan thing earlier. You corrected me on the air.
Yeah, you
corrected me.
You said it again. BJ Callaghan.
Did I say it again?
You did, coming back from break.
Oh, gosh. All right, we're learning together here.
We know you're still a big fan.
Yeah, they're winning games. They're kicking butt. I enjoy that.
Joe likes winning.
Winning is what it should be. 8398 says, I like to see more Hendon Hooker go a half, at least a full quarter. We all know what Will Levis, he has a nickname for Will Levis here, I'm not going to repeat, has got. I'm out on Levis. Maybe I'm the only one here. I'm good. I just see we've had enough, 20-something games or however long it was he's played. We've seen enough. I need to move on from that. 3051, the concern level of Cam is a 10. The dude doesn't want to snap the ball every single play. He lets the clock run down to 0, which I saw that was a concern last night of mine as well. Started to wonder if it was a Callahan thing or a Cam thing, given my view that Callahan has no business being a head coach. He was just a coaching fraud and fired the day he made the comment on a question to a bad 4th down call with it's dealer's choice. Thank you there, 3051. TD from Nashville says, concerning level for me has been for quite a while. If you cannot run a vanilla offense to perfection, what are you going to do when you need to run a strawberry parfait offense with cherry on the top? TD, thank you. 615-737-102. That is the question, the level of concern about Cam Ward. Before we go to the top of the hour, can we talk about the Fox broadcast crew last night on this thing?
Brutal.
I get you want to interview Sam Darnold. I don't want an 18-minute Sam Darnold interview where you show me his wedding pictures. I could get a People magazine for that and subscribe. I'm good with all that. I don't need – that was the longest sideline interview in history. It was all – I mean, fine. Weren't you quite awful? I was like, let's go. Move on with this.
It's crazy how TV broadcasts have evolved from the very beginning using a telestrator, and it was John Madden basically dissecting a water bucket with a small one, a big one, and an even bigger one, saying, this is the mama bucket, this is the daddy bucket, and this is a small bucket. This is feeding the offensive lineman, this is feeding the wide receivers, and this is feeding the quarterback.
Yeah.
To, oh, look, Sam Darnold's wedding pictures. Let's talk about his offseason. You got married. How do you feel? You got $18 million richer after that Super Bowl. Nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Nobody does.
Make it fun about the football broadcast, not fun about the Sam Darnold wedding broadcast.
By the way, Julian Edelman was dressed like he's going to one of those parties at the old Hotel Preston, if you know what I mean. He was out for a night on the town, and he really had nothing to add last night. And
when they were talking about Cam Ward in the pregame with what's her name? She's on the Amazon.
Carissa.
Yeah, Carissa Thompson.
She's fine.
She's great. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But
what? She was the one that lied, right?
Yes,
about faking
at halftime. Yes. But
I forgot about that.
To what I was saying about Julian Edelman, they asked him about Cam Ward. He goes, "Oh," started making faces. And I'm like, "Are you a mime? What is this? Are you supposed to amuse the crowd?"
Oh yes.
Give us some context about the quarterback.
Yeah, and then they would show them on the sideline. I'm like, quit showing that. I don't want to see them, right? And then, of course, it got the old Kenny Alberts like, Robert Saleh saying that Cam Ward's the first guy in the building. Everybody. I was like, all right. I tweeted out at me like, I don't care.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It was a small sample size, but do you think Brian Callahan ruined Cam Ward?
No.
Okay.
I'm
just curious.
Ball security issues started a long time before Brian Callaghan.
But I'm talking about to the game itself, because that last night when it took him forever to get that play, the pre-snap when it went down to 0, trying to check out of it. To me, going back to that Denver game last year, Cam Ward was quick with it. He knew when to check in and check out. The players were just dropping the ball nonstop. Right. It just makes me wonder, has that momentum left Cam Ward and having to relearn a new offense along with having to relearn different checks? For me, I've never played the quarterback position, but to me, there's something about that. It's a bit off.
It's a good point. There it is. But I think nobody believed in Cam Ward coming out of high school, right? He went to Incarnate Word. Nobody believed in him when he went to Washington State. Nobody believed in him when he went to Miami. Cristobal did, the head coach did. They're like, we got something good down here to fight his way. I think the guy still has a chip on his shoulder to prove to people that he belongs. And at some point, you can still have that burning in you, but at some point, you've got to realize, hey, I did this. I'm here. Now, I don't need to I need to go out and just play football. But along this journey, I don't think nobody's believed in him. I still think now people believe in him. I just think he's like, all right, I'm out here by myself. My family believes in me. I'm going to try to get it done. And that's not the case anymore. Because I watched him at Miami throttle defenses, right? And he came to a very bad football team last year with a very terrible head coach. That coach gets fired halfway through the season. Mike McCoy had no idea what was going on. Bo Hart agreed. And so I think Cam was like, look, I'm going to do it again. That's all I know how to do. And I'm like, you got to stop think you've got to do everything. And the ball security is an issue when you run out of bounds. I don't know. It happens every game. It happened last year. We were in Vegas. He did that. Just you got to stop dropping back out of the huddle. You got to get in the huddle, fire the ball down the field. There's a lot. If you came into that game last night and didn't know the quarterback situation, you would know who the starter was. You would think the starter on the Titans was Mitch Trubisky, followed by Will Levis, followed by Cam Ward. You would. That's how you would do. If you had no knowledge of what was going on last night, you would not think Cam Ward's the starting quarterback of that football team. That's a problem. I still believe in him. I think he's smart. I think he's sound. I think he throws a hell of a ball. But there's something off, and I don't know what it is.
It just, looking at him throw the ball a few times to Wan'Dale Robinson, even in double coverage, it was like a 4 or 5 yard, just stop route. Gunnar Helm was wide open in the flat. Like, why are you not making the logical move of throwing it to the more open receiver and getting more yards down the field? I just feel like he didn't want to go off script, and I think that's more of just trying to establish the offense in his mind. I could be wrong.
Okay, I think if he checks off, he knows he's getting sacked. That's my thing. I think if he checks down, he knows he's getting, because he got put on his bottom last year. He's got put on his bottom last night. Or I don't think he got sacked, but the pressure was there all night. I think when Cam says, all right, I got my guys covered. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to wing it, because if I stay anything longer, I'm getting sacked. So
you think the clock in his head is what is kind of messing with him a little bit?
I do.
Okay.
There's nothing more. Joe Montana talked about this. It's about pressure on a quarterback. Once you start feeling that pressure, everything's out the window. So we'll see what happens. All right, that's the end of the first hour. We got more. 615-737-1025. The question of the day is, what's your level of concern about this football team now after 2 preseason, after what we saw last night was pretty awful? You can try to change my mind. You're not going to. The Vols have a new, they've named a starting quarterback. When does Vandy name theirs? And coaching malpractice in high school football, which is driving me crazy. That's all in hour number 2, right on the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. What's going on? I'm finally here.
Welcome back, pal.
Back from beautiful Las Vegas, where it was 107 degrees when I left this morning. So
it's okay.
That was fun, but back in the saddle, nice to walk outside and feel a cool breeze. So that was cool. I know you guys have been reacting to the Titans and the preseason game last night. Let's get to Trey, who wants to weigh in on Cam Ward and the Titans. Trey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing today?
We're good.
Hey, I just want to say, man, that my stress level is high because I don't see any progress in Cam. And, people are trying to nitpick and say that, well, it's only been 20 games. Well, I understand that, but you got, you're in a position, you was the number one pick, and you're not doing the basic, simple things. And, it's driving the fans crazy that somebody of a caliber player, and don't get me wrong, I think he could be a good quarterback. He's big, he's agility, he's got a great arm. I just think that his timing is off. Like, I don't know what's going on in his head, but everything is off. The receivers is off. The running back is off. Everything is off, and it all correlates back to Cam Ward. You have to put good oil in a car for it to stay running straight. If Cam Ward timing got better, everything on the team would be better. It all depends on Cam Ward, how those other players play. If he plays like crap, everybody else is going to say, well, screw it. He's playing like crap. We can't even score a touchdown. That makes everybody else look bad just by him being bad. And that's a disgrace. And people try to compare him to Steve McNair. I'm going to say this one time. He was better than Steve McNair. Steve McNair came from a 3A school in Mississippi. Steve McNair wasn't even considered to be All-Corn State quarterback. It was Jerry Butler. There would be no Steve McNair. There would be no Brent Favre because Jerry Butler was the number one guy in Mississippi at the time. Steve McNair got anointed that position and progressed from being a bench rider to being a 25,000-yard quarterback when nobody even know who he was. What is going on with Cam? He had the best coaches in college, the best equipment, the best facilities, the best field to play on, and he isn't transcending to being at least a 50% quarterback in this league today. And it's all because of his timing. And I think he's just out there trying to he's running, it seems like he's a gazelle running from a cheetah. Trying to say, well, hold on. They're going to get me out of the game. They're going to put Trubisky in. I think he's happy about that. Well, that gives me more time to learn. No, you don't have more time to learn.
All right, Trey.
They said that he can. They said he can make all the throws. That's all I heard, Trey. You don't know what you're talking about. He can make all the throws.
Thank you,
Big Joe. Then they Big Joe.
You got it, man. Hey, listen, real quick, how your teeth feeling?
Oh, they're doing great, buddy. They're doing great. I had to have 3 wisdom teeth pulled the last time I was over there. I got a screw in there. Everything looking great. So when I come meet y'all, I'll be able to smile at y'all and stuff. Hey, but I just want to say, Big Joe, y'all, hey, they had an earthquake over there, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake over in Medellin. So I want y'all to pray for them people over there. Pray for the new president because I think he's going to be great, and just pray for everybody. And I love y'all, but Cam Ward, he's too big to be out there looking like that.
All right, thanks,
Thank
pal.
you, Trey. Appreciate the call. Good stuff. Well, I haven't even gotten to react yet, so I can already tell where this is gone for the first hour.
Well, the question of the day is level of concern. 1 being, oh, we're good. 10, like, oh my God, where do you land? Dr. Crane's at an 8. I'm at a 7.
I'm probably at a 7.
It's bad.
I mean, look, I was just reading through some of, Blake Bedingfield works with Paul Kuharsky and, his longtime director of scouting. And I read the headline real quick that, yes, they made a ton of moves this offseason, but this team still has a ton of holes. And so, how many of those affect Cam? I think that's open to interpretation. But, like, watching him last night, I felt like, and you tell me if you saw something different, I felt like he had time. I felt like the O-line gave him
a little bit here and there.
I think maybe in that second or third series he got rushed a little bit more, but how much of that was he was truly getting rushed and how much of that is him that he starts to roll out and maybe do a little too much?
That as well. And I think he knows that if he spends a second too long, he's going to get sacked. He looks at one read, he takes off. He's not – I don't think he's confident right now. Ball security is still an issue. Very reckless with that, dropping back in the pot. There's a lot of things that are still there that need to be gone to be a good quarterback. And right now, I'm not seeing of it. So my thing is like, all right, we've seen enough. Now do we just worry about the Jets? Is that it? I mean, if you come out against the Bears, if we see an awful effort with the Bears, you should be severely concerned. So I'm saying, don't watch the Bears.
Do you think they play them?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, I would too.
Solinos,
yeah.
He was. And when your team's when the official X account of the Titans has to tweet out that we still believe in Cam, that's pretty shocking. Like, why are you guys doing that?
I mean, I am. I told you from the very beginning when we started this stuff in OTAs, I'm like, let's get to the preseason and training camp and joint practices and all that. And then that's when I'll start getting concerned. We're there. I'm not seeing a ton of improvement. The head coach has said that Cam's had a great camp, and maybe he has. Like, maybe he's done everything he's supposed to do. If that's the case, then you should be really concerned, because that's basically saying he's had a great camp doing everything he's supposed to do, but he's just not very good.
Pro Football Focus ranks Cam 102 out of 104 quarterbacks in the preseason with a passing grade of 29.
That's real comforting for the number 1 overall pick.
It's pretty bad, right? I mean, again, you go out and beat the Jets, play this show, call us idiots. What do you get after that on that Monday? Yeah. That's fine. But, man, I just, after seeing them last night, and it was the number 2s that they went against last. The number 2s of the Seahawks just carved up the number 1 of the Titans last night.
Well,
and it was awful.
Let's not just put this on the offense, because the number 1 defense didn't look very good against the number 2 offense either.
Yeah, first quarter is all you got to care about. 16-3 Seattle. Could have been a lot worse than that, and that's what it was. And the number 2s of Seattle. I mean, it's funny, last night so many people were like, can we trade for Drew Lock? I was like, yeah. I also told Dr. Crane, Will Levis, I'm done. We're done. We're done.
Like, anyone saying, oh, they need to start Will Levis, like, have you not watched him either? He sucks too.
He's pretty bad. I mean,
Trubisky's the only one that looks halfway decent.
The question is, if you know anything about this football team, you watch this team, you'd think Trubisky's the starting quarterback. You would not. You're like, all right, Trubisky, and then Hendon Hooker at least went 2 for 2. Another that was against the number 5s. Julius Chestnut's number 2 running back on the team. They ran Tajay Spears up the middle on 4th and 1.
That was stupid.
Which is like running Dr. Crane against me. It's not going to get anywhere. No offense, buddy. It's not going to happen. But you go outside of me.
I didn't understand that at all.
You go outside of me, you're scoring a touchdown every time. Bounce him outside, he goes. There's a lot. And don't tell me it's the preseason. We're trying to figure things out. It was a bad night for the Titans.
I don't want to hear it's the preseason. I don't want to hear, oh, they're not game planning, oh, they're not running the full playbook. Like, that's great. You should know the basics of a basic playbook.
Yeah.
And like, they're not. Carnell Tate, should he have made that catch for, I think it was the first or second series? It was contested.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, he's turning around. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. In that moment, I don't know.
Yeah. Here's another thing too that I'm a little concerned about. Cordell Flott.
Yeah.
Woof.
All right. He's unsure where he is on the field. Steven Hendersonville says Trey is the Will Levis of this show's radio callers.
Yeah.
I don't know. We like Trey. We're keeping
do
Trey
like Trey.
around. We're not going. We're keeping him around there. Trey's got a lot of fans on the text line. This is nice.
Well, so here's my question for you too. 5398 says it's a 10 because they'll find a way to win 3 or 4 games and we're stuck in quarterback purgatory for the next 10 years. Cam was the best quarterback in a garbage class of quarterbacks. So already people are going, all right, you look at this draft, because I mean, right now on paper, this draft looks to be a decent quarterback draft. Let's let the college season play out, But so you're going to go do this all over again 2 years later, or are you going to, if you once again have a top 10 pick, are you going to try and get something to build around him? Because how many teams have you seen don't have the franchise quarterback, but they build a good defense and enough around him that they can get by with it?
Is that what the Seahawks did?
I mean,
Kinda.
Got
that defense solid.
I mean, Sam Darnold's not a franchise, by definition quarterback. He's been really good. And the other thing, and I'm waiting for this too, Baker's probably going to be available. So is Baker Mayfield going to be an upgrade over Cam Ward? People, that's going to be discussed.
I mean, Cam, we should be good.
Now watch. On August 24th, we're sitting here freaking out. Watch them start the season like 4-0.
Good. then call this radio show and call us idiots. That's fine. But the overwhelming level of concern on our text line from a lot of people is 5 and up. And I get that after what we saw last night for this football team. They got to find a way to get better. I mean, I just don't understand. You've been in camp now for a month. There was no energy, no effort last night, at least what I could tell. Well, hell, I don't know. As soon as you're watching Sam Darnold get interviewed for an hour and seeing his wedding pictures.
You didn't like that, did you?
Awful.
Yeah,
awful.
I'm with you on that.
You're going to show me wedding pictures? Send me a link to the People magazine. I can get it that way instead of the interview on the sidelines. Just didn't care about that last night. And I don't know, it was a bad night. If you're looking overall, they won the game. That's the goal. That's fine. But look at the first quarter. That's the telling stat. Seattle won 16-3, and the Titans could not get anywhere against their number 2s. That's the problem.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll continue to react with you. It's Chasing Big Joe on this Monday, 1025 The Game.
Terrible.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Continuing to take your reaction. The Titans, they're 2-0 in the preseason, but it doesn't feel like it.
That's the goal, right? Win games?
I
Good
guess.
Lord.
I guess. Something like that. Let's go to the phones. Rick wants to weigh in. Rick, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I was hoping to see some excitement last night from the team on both sides of the ball. Some enthusiasm. The team heard some of the negative press after the first game. So you would think that they'd say, you know what, we're going to show up, show the guys, show the town, show the fans what we got going for us. And I thought that was the most lackluster performance by the defense. It was pathetic. And I blame that 100% on our head coach, 100%. And then number two, it was obvious, well, let's don't get anybody hurt, and let's make damn sure that we are teaching Cam Ward how to throw short passes, take the open pass, go to the slot guy, go with the running back coming out. Let's see if we can find the tight end. Oh, yeah, and let's not forget about Tate, And that's what the game looked like. Now, in a way, I do believe that Cam took a step forward in finding the easy pass to make and pick up, a few yards. Of course, that one went real well. But anyway, overall, I thought it was lackluster, and I don't think the fans have any idea of who this team is or how good they may or may not be, and I'm hoping that the coaching staff does. So that's it for me, guys.
Thank you, Rick. Good call.
Thank you, Rick. It's an excellent call. He makes all the points we've talked about the entire show. Effort, energy, showing some passion last night. I saw zero passion last night.
Oh, I didn't either. And my thing is, you can make all the excuses in the book of, well, it's preseason, and do they really get up for a preseason game? It's a game. You're playing it. You're in it.
Do you know who else it's a preseason game for?
The other team.
The other team, right?
Yeah.
So it's a preseason game for them as well.
And look, if I'm Drew Lock, because Ricky and I were watching the game last night, and we both are like, Drew Lock's been in the league for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm him, and I know I don't get a lot of opportunities to show off, I'm going out there and I'm going to whip your ass.
Yep. And that was the number twos versus the number ones last night. And there was no fire from that defense to shut them down. It was crazy.
I saw there was one thing I did that caught my eye on the number one defense, and it's a guy you've been talking about. And if he's just a little bit of a step quicker, I think he gets to the quarterback, and that's Jermaine Johnson. He had some jump, a couple of times. He didn't get there, but there were times he was coming, and I saw that a couple of times, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
if we can build off that, then
and that's the thing. I mean, and Rick makes a good point. I mean, are you going through the motions because it's the preseason, and you're like, all right, but that Jets game, all right, then show us. You win that game, play this show back on August 24th, and shove it. I don't care. I want you to win.
My question has always, and I'll probably have this every year. Would it just be better to get rid of the preseason?
I think so.
And just do 6 weeks of joint practices and scrimmages and all that stuff, and you get your 18th game and your second off week, and just get rid of the preseason.
Yes, sir.
And maybe, you could do more at the stadium and have scrimmages or whatever, but just be done with it.
But 32 people are going to fight you on this.
The backup quarterbacks,
the owners.
Well, because
they'll lose a home game.
Yeah, but you're going to add the 18th.
Yeah, but you're going to lose a home game because you're giving up a preseason
Okay,
game.
do one preseason game.
I'm with you. I think joint practices. Colleges don't have preseason games.
Right, exactly.
Don't give a damn.
And the college product week one is usually pretty good.
Yeah. So do 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks of practice, then do 3 weeks of joint practices, and then boom, you're into the season. Go. We're done. And have the joint practice at the stadium. That's fine.
Well, but think about it. The Falcons and the Titans should do 2 weeks of training camp together. Do joint practices, have 1 week here, 1 week down there, and find these teams that are close together. Let the Jets and the Giants, they do a couple weeks together. Like you could do that. The Texans and the Cowboys, or the Rams and the Cowboys,
Yeah.
if they go out to LA.
Well, and the thing is, with the preseason, now we've seen this, at least currently, we've seen this. If we go out in week one, if the Jets beat them week one and we have the same concerns we're having August 24th,
Yep, then
that's a massive problem.
right.
So the goal is, do we not pay attention? Here's a question for you. Do we not pay attention to the Bears game this week because we know what we need to see for the Jets? Half of me is like, I don't care that the Bears are in town. I don't care.
I was going to go to that game 3 weeks ago. Now I don't care.
No,
because
don't.
I've seen now. I really like, whether it's the right way to feel or not. It's like, all right, just show me what you got against the Jets.
That's it.
Let's just
Right.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it's preseason and whatnot. Like, but if you come out and you play like, you know what, against the Jets, then I'm going to come on here like you are that Monday, and I'm going to roast your ass.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, our question today is, what's your level of concern after seeing 2 preseason games? One's like, we're good, don't worry about it. Or 10 is like, oh no, I'm hitting the panic because it looks that bad right now. This is your show. Let us know. 615-737-1025.
Yes, indeed. We also, there's some college stories that we're going to cover too that came out over the weekend. We'll do that and much more coming up. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. I have been told that the LSU Tigers are going to run out to this song now.
They should,
because Lane Kiffin should probably stay away from Louisiana girls.
He should, and should stay away from undrafted free agents in the NFL as well.
So Todd Monken had the best line, like basically saying, "Ain't that some?"
Did he really? Have comment on it? Oh, I didn't see that.
Like he's like he. I think it was. Can you believe that bleep?
I don't.
That this is where we are now. That I got to cut a guy so he can go back to college. And Monken knows because he's been on both sides of this now.
Well, yeah, obviously. So it's another day of like something's happening, but still there is that. Are they clear? Is it the litigation still out there? The complaint. I mean, we talked to the coach last week. There's a whole lot of. We don't know what's going on right now.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on what state you're in. For one, and
crazy,
and like,
man.
I don't know. Okay, so let's say that, and I don't even know the kid's name. I just know he was the tight end with the Browns, and now he's with LSU, and he was at Ole Miss before that. So I don't blame him for taking advantage of a really messed up system,
right?
Because obviously it's more of a benefit to him to play college football than it is in the NFL as an undrafted guy. So do you actively root for this to all, blow up and then he's not able to play at all?
Well,
I don't really know how to feel because the system is so screwed up, but it's not the kid's fault.
I'm trying to find his name from that tweet this weekend that somebody had.
Daquan Wright.
Daquan Wright.
Thank you. Here's the deal. Lane doesn't have to take him.
No. Lane wants to take him.
And then so the tight end who's been busting his ass through spring and summer workouts is going to be told, hey, man, you're number 2 now. I mean, it's not a great thing.
But no. Let's not get this twisted. What are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
It's Lane Kiffin.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So he didn't care. He didn't care who's been busting their butt or whatever.
You're true. That's right. It's like eerily similar to a coach around here that does kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, there are a few of those. It looks like the Tennessee Vols have named Faison Brandon, the true freshman, as the starting quarterback, which I don't think is a huge surprise. He beat out George McIntyre, the redshirt freshman, and will lead the Vols starting next week. So we'll see what he looks like in that system as a true freshman. The question on our mind is, when will Clark Lee be doing the same? Because my guess is he's going to be naming a true freshman starter as well.
I think he names Jared Curtis a starter by the end of the week. And look, your first couple of games, I know we got a lot of friends up there in Clarksville. We love you guys. First game is against Austin Peay. And you're not playing Georgia. Let's not, put the two together. And then you got Delaware after that. You can get him started, get him acclimated to the home crowd, to be behind him. And then I think it'll be like kind of a platoon deal. Like,
I was like, what?
We'll put him in for a little bit, take him out and all that. And you got Delaware, then NC State in 3 weeks. But I think it'll be the same there. Now, George McIntyre has got to figure out, what he's not going to stay. If you're not going to back up a true freshman. By the way, first time since 2004, Tennessee's had a true freshman quarterback since Brent Schaefer and
Eric Ainge.
That 2004 team. And then Schaefer ended up transferring to Ole Miss after that first year. So is it Bill Parcells or John Madden said, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. So they'll have a true starter up there. Faison Brandon's their guy. And look, they start out with Furman, then Georgia Tech, then Kennesaw State, and then Texas. So again, there's an opening game to get to the jitters. The name Heupel, I think Heupel knows what he's doing, and Brandon's his guy.
Well, and I mean, you have Faison Brandon, who's a 5-star that you brought in. I mean, I know George McIntyre was highly recruited.
Yes.
Even though you've named a starter, you have 2. So I mean, if there's a situation, like you said, if they have to platoon, they will. But
we're going to call him Faison Brandon Bigsby. That's his new name going forward. Our illustrious producer here at 102.5 The Game.
AKA Brando.
AKA Brando.
Let's go to the phones. Clay wants to weigh in. Clay, what's up?
Boys, how we doing today?
We're good.
I'm hoping that I'm going to get y'all laughing. That's what I always try to do. So I've got an idea for the 13th, Titans-Jets. I'm going to go down to Nissan Stadium and sell no-dos for the game. How much money you think I can make?
All right, let me ask you a question.
That offense might put people to sleep.
When you came up with this joke, did it sound funny in your head? I want to know.
I just thought it'd be funny, but maybe it's not funny.
It's okay, but I like the effort though. You're like a guy around here named a young Les. You're pretty funny.
Anyway, seriously, minus, obviously there was a bust on the long play early, the pass, and there was some kind of a bust, in the line with the long run. But after that, the defense played really well. Granted, I know the Seahawks weren't playing their starters, but, the defense was pretty solid, and that is encouraging, I think, with Salah, being that kind of a guy that, this team is going to fight. This team is going to, I'm not saying they're going to win a lot of games, but this guy's culture he's laying down, they're not going to play around. They're going to fight.
I'm with that. But buddy, the Seahawks number 2s ran all over the Titans number 1s, pushed them back, ran over. I mean, everything. I mean, it was abysmal. All right. First quarter, 16-3, Seahawks over the Titans. I know the Titans won 19-16, but the first quarter was terrible. The number 2s were pushing you back. So now you see where the Titans are, where you got to get to, right? You couldn't even beat the number. I know they're the world champions, but you couldn't even beat their number 2s. That's pretty sad.
Right. And the quarterback play just, I don't know. You guys fill in the adjective. I would say shaky at best.
That's being nice about it. It's putting it
like the
lightly.
Play. If y'all remember the one play where Gunnar Helm was, open on the sideline, and Cam just threw it too far to the outside, and he couldn't get his feet down. I mean, that's maybe a touchdown, if he throws it to the inside instead of the outside.
Hey, Clay, how would Diego Pavia run that offense last night? Would he at least make it exciting for you?
Oh, sure.
Is that all you're going to say is, oh, sure? People are asking on the text line. I think it's a funny question.
Yeah, I think Diego could do just as good a job. I really do.
Right.
Here we go. Does Clark need to name a starter by the end of this week?
Yes.
I agree.
I heard what y'all are saying, I was on hold. I think it's going to be Curtis, because to me, these people that have put up all this money, to get this guy to Vanderbilt, okay, Blaze Bertowitz named the starter. Those people aren't going to be happy. So I don't know that. I understand the experience part of it. This guy's been in the offense 3 years, but I just think it's going to be Curtis, and I think it'll be announced in the next couple of days. That's just my opinion.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the call.
See you, boys.
See ya.
Did you see the story Brett McMurphy had this week about LSU and Ole Miss and bugging the offices?
The FBI.
So Walker Jones, executive director of the Grove Collective at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss had FBI sweep the building for bugs after Lane Kiffin left her LSU. Walker was looking under his desk when someone asked what he was doing. He says, "Just trust me. You don't know this guy like I did," talking about Lane Kiffin. It's just more and more with this guy, man, does it get more bizarre and weird. And I'm not surprised by this.
Well, and he said today or yesterday, whatever it was, but when asked about, recruiting these NFL players, he was like, look, either we can't control how the system is. Either they're going to go play somewhere else or they're going to come play here. So we elected to recruit them, which I get it. I get it. Again, it's not their fault. It's not Lane Kiffin's fault that this system is screwed up.
No,
it's the NCAA that should have done something years ago and they didn't.
Look, everybody, you know this, as big a wrestling fan you are, it works better when there's a villain.
Yeah.
Everything works better. And right now, Lane Kiffin is that villain.
Yeah. He's the heel. That is
Right.
for sure. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. By the way, all of our training camp coverage this year is presented by Twin Peaks, Parman Tractor and Equipment, Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery, Tri-State Water, Power, and Air. Appreciate them for being on board for our training camp coverage. We'll have more coming up next, including John McClain at 2 o'clock. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chase a Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Monday. Thanks for hanging around with us. 615-737-1025. Let's just keep taking calls, shall we? Eric wants to weigh in. What's up, Eric?
Oh, no.
Eric, you there? Eric.
Big E.
All right, call back. Let's try again. Neil, what's up?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Y'all ready to rock and roll on this Monday?
Let's go.
We are.
All right, listen. They don't look good. Titans don't look good. Cam's not a good quarterback. I'm glad that we drafted, checked down Cam, and hey, he's great from about 5 yards out. But that boy can't hit the broadside of a barn on a regular pass. His footwork is god awful. And this running backwards, you're not fast. You're not fast at all. You're getting caught by linebackers and defensive ends. Luckily, you didn't get that fumble going. But congratulations, Borgonzi. You drafted check down Cam. Your quarterback can get a screen pass. But God forbid, he's going to run around now and then, and he'll shoot up a nice pass. He looks like an idiot for not taking the Giants offer. He does. And I would have tried to trade for Mac Jones or something. At this point, though, I'm really worried about – I don't want Borgonzi. And I like Borgonzi. You know, he told me he got solidified a quarterback. That's his name, where he got solidified a quarterback. What did his scout see? Because I didn't think the Cam Ward's pro day was even that great. I watched it, and I'm like, he looked terrible, especially in the red zone. I don't know what they drafted, but if I'm Amy, I'm cleaning the house. I'm done. Like, you should have got Dimitriov. At least he built a Super Bowl winning team. I don't know what's going on there, but we didn't look like this under J-Rob. And I understand, and I keep hearing, J-Rob, his drafts is part of this problem. You've had 4 years. I'm done with that. You can fix the team in 4 years. But at least when J-Rob was here, you know, she fired him at 7-5 and didn't even give him a chance to fix it. And then she turned around and fired Vrabel. Something's got to change because I'm serious. Guys, I don't think we're winning 4 games this year. And if we do, I would be completely surprised. I hope Cam does well. But y'all, they're playing against people's backups. This is unacceptable, and I don't want to hear he was 5 for 8 or 8 out of 12. And then, you take a screen passes. The problem is the boy can't hit a 20-yard pass. So I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Neil. Good call.
That's a good call, Neil. Listen, if we're in hypotheticals here, if Cam is not the guy and you go through 17 games and you know it, in today's NFL, they're moving on. You're not getting the 3 years. You're not getting it. You're not getting the 3-year chance to prove that you belong. You're not.
No, not anymore. And look, that's probably wrong. Like, I mean, again, if Steve McNair, and I know this is different, this is apples and oranges because he's coming from Alcorn State and Cam Ward's coming from Miami, but there was no way in hell Steve was going to start day one. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to be an NFL quarterback.
Right. Plus, you had a new head coach. And Fisher. I mean, you're right. And
you're rebuilding. I mean,
Floyd had been there for a few years. So as the GM. Yeah. Yep. So there was like, oh, we're building something. There's a lot of patience, man. Good call by Neil. There's no patience left.
No.
Either you know or you don't know.
But okay, here's where you can make the comparison. And we don't know how this is going to turn out yet. What did Floyd? So Floyd takes McNair. What was it? Third overall.
Correct.
In 95. What did he do the next year?
Eddie.
He got him a weapon in Eddie George.
That's right.
What did Borgonzi do? He got Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
We'll see how it turns out. But, I mean, and then you look at 97, you had Dyson, 97, you had that's when you got D-Mace and Joey Kent, who didn't work out. You get Dyson in 98. So, I mean, like, you add pieces along the way.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what Borgonzi's trying to do. The problem is now you play these guys from day one, so everybody sits here and sees them learning on the job and making mistakes. They're like, oh, God, he's awful. Now, do I think he's the number 1 overall pick? No. But that's where he was, and that's where you had to take him.
Yeah.
If he was in another draft class, he wouldn't have been the number 1 overall pick. But what were you going to do? And you can play revisionist history of, do you take the deal with the Giants and – build around a veteran, Mac Jones or whatever. You could have done that, but they ultimately decided we're going to build around the young quarterback, or we're going to take the young quarterback and then try and build around him. They're not done building around him yet.
No, and they're not. But again, I mean, it's like you'd hope to see some improvement from the 49ers to the Seahawks, and there were none. And I get it. Had it been the Seahawks full 11, number 1 out there, like, wow, that's a Super Bowl champion. That's the level you got to get to, but it wasn't. And I just, for me, there was no level of fire last night. I saw a lot of what I saw during Mariota here.
Yeah.
A lot like, oh, shucks, we didn't get it. Well, we'll come out there next time and do better. I'm used to quarterbacks having that fire in that belly of just jumping people and being upset. I mean, showing me the passion, and I just didn't see it. And I didn't see any progress last night. It just looked bad. And so I don't know if I'm going to pay attention to this Bears game or not. I mean, I will a little bit, but what if it's the same as we've seen the first two games and we're all back here next Monday doing the same bitching and moaning of what's going on? I mean, I mean, do we need to see Cam go 15-15 and three? I like to see a nice drive down the field like they did against the Niners. That opening drive was kind of cool, but then I got to see your quarterback hit receivers and do things to make him that guy. And right now, I'm not seeing that.
What's going to be interesting to me is seeing that first drive against the Jets, because we know those plays are scripted. Because I do feel like when he's run the script, he's looked okay on those opening drives. And then things, when you're having to change and game plan throughout, that's where he struggles. So are you going to continue to see that? Or are you going to see what you've seen all preseason where things just seem very disjointed? And
that's a good point. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I hate always. I hate that we keep saying, "Well, give me the Jets game, give me the Jets game," but that's really
it.
That's the truth, because that's
right.
You're going to see whatever the 53 is. That's going to be the team you see, and that offense better be clicking by then.
Set the scene on that Sunday. It's going to be Chris Johnson gets his number in the Ring of Honor, retired. It's going to be
just in the Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Okay. Is it not getting retired?
No.
Okay. Ring of Honor. All right. They're going to celebrate Chris Johnson. And on that day, I hope Robert Saleh understands to kick the ball off. Pin the Jets back. Let your defense and that sold-out crowd go bananas. Get your offense on the field, good field position, score, and then take control of that game. That's what I'm hoping. We'll break that game down a lot in the next 20 days. But that's what I need. But that is the focus. It is now the Jets game. That's the main thing, and they got to play good.
All right, we have Eric. Eric, what's up?
I'm sorry, guys. I had a phone issue. Guys, I'm going to get to my overall summary of the game in a minute. But one quick thing about Cam Ward. Guys, he may or may not be a bust. I don't know. I really don't want to give up on him, because here's from this perspective. I look at Baker Mayfield. Of course, he was with the Browns, and, of course, had all those issues with the Browns. He's wound up now at the bounce time several teams. He gets the clear resurrected with Tampa Bay. You had Sam Darnold, who, of course, started with the Jets. He bounced around, and now he's resurrected, and now he wins the Super Bowl with Seattle. What do those two organizations have in common? The Jets and Cleveland, known for not being able to develop quarterbacks. And if that happens to Cam Ward, where we decide to give up on him and he bounces around and winds up successful somebody else, then we'll become an organization known for not knowing how to develop quarterbacks. I'm hoping that does not happen, but that's kind of my fear, that something like that could happen. So I'm hoping it doesn't. But real quickly, as far as the game last night, guys, frustrating. The first two drives, give up touchdowns, the pass in the end zone where the guy was, I don't know, missed assignment, blown coverage, whatever. And then the 70-yard touchdown run after that, where it was our first-team defense against backups. And also the inopportune penalties where we get, I guess I saw it was like face mask call, was clearly the face mask call, but then the touchdown was called back because of holding. Then the pick that was overturned because of illegal contact. I guess another one where somebody was called for like unsportsmanlike conduct, a 15-yard penalty. And I saw another one where I think they called the penalty where Kevin Ridley, it was called for pass interference for us. The thing was, I think that was a makeup call to make up for an obvious one that was missed earlier. But some of those calls were justified. Some I kind of thought were ticky-tack. You can make up it wherever you will, but it's just still inopportune penalties at inopportune times. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you guys. Y'all take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
I love these calls today.
Yeah, we've had good calls.
They're about a minute long, and they just get right to the point. Good job,
but
Eric.
You know that. But this is what's interesting to me, because I was curious thinking about this on the plane. Were people going to care? People seem to care. People care very much about this team.
Yeah.
And what's happening with it. We'll talk to John McClain, get his thoughts on it coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, hour number 3, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. Continuing reaction, Titans preseason game number 2 against the Seahawks. And we say hello now to one of our favorites, John McClain from Houston joins us. John, how you doing?
I couldn't be better, guys. Thank you.
Let's start with just kind of your general reactions to Cam Ward, and the defense didn't look great on their series, a couple series, and Cam seems things aren't going, great as of yet. What's kind of your early takeaways with the Titans and their starters?
My early takeaway is from 50 years doing this, I put very little stock in what I see in preseason, especially with starters out. Yes, you obviously want to see him make improvement, but he doesn't have his whole team around him. And I hope expectations don't get too high. I expect the Titans to have a good defense, and they will be well coached on defense. But, you got to have the weapons around him. And those guys, a lot of them are young as well. But by the time they play that first game, when he comes out, you're going to want to see somebody who's better than he was last season. And with a new coaching staff, new terminology, new system, a lot of different teammates, it may take 3 or 4 games to see that. But if they don't see it, then people are going to start to worry. All my friends in Nashville are on the edge of on the ledge,
right,
ready to jump off. And I said, guys, they were the worst. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. They were the worst the year before. They're not going to turn around overnight with a new coach. What you do know is you have a great defensive coach, and as soon as everybody gets healthy, and it looked like from what Silas said they will be, what I liked that he said was, I can't remember the word, was happy or what, but he praised up front on both sides of the ball, and it all starts there.
John, we value your opinion so much, and we've seen this every year, is that people are like, oh, what's the point of a preseason game? Get rid of preseason games. I mean, you've heard this talk for so long, right? It's like, we're going to do it, not going to do it, whatever. It is what it is, right? You get up and down about your team, and then you look for the first game, and we've seen teams go 0-4 the preseason, win the Super Bowl. I think the Lions in 2008 went 4-0 in the preseason, and they didn't win a damn game that year.
I remember one year the Buccaneers went unbeaten. Everybody, oh boy, the Buccaneers have finally turned a corner. Then they had the number 1 pick. Don Shula, when he coached the Dolphins, always played his starters a lot in the preseason because he wanted to win preseason games. He thought it built momentum for regular season. And who's to argue with all-time winningest coach in the NFL? It worked for him, but also helped he had really good players, good personnel, good coaches. But, yes, and I know last year a lot of people were fired up about the Texans. They lost their first 3 games. I know I thought the season was over. I was looking at draft picks instead of guys who might go in the bottom of the first round. I was looking for guys that might go in the middle of the first round, and they won 12 games. But they got a lot of talent. And they built that talent by being bad 2 years in a row. People act like it was a 10-year process. No, they were terrible 2 years in a row, and they got lucky trading the Browns' new starting quarterback and getting all those draft picks, which is still the gift that keeps on giving. And I'm guessing if they had not made that trade for Watson and got so many picks, 3, including 3 first-rounders, they wouldn't have made the playoffs in D'Amico Ryans' first season. They might have made it in the second, and they wouldn't be considered as a Super Bowl contender, which I don't think they are, but a lot of national people do, and a lot of locals here do. But the Titans need a sugar daddy like Andrew Berry from the Browns.
Right, to do all that. Chase and I were talking earlier, John, but it's good that so many Titans fans are concerned about Cam Ward, are concerned about this team. We've gotten a ton of calls, ton of reaction day. Had we gotten no calls, John, no reaction, I think that'd be a problem. People want this team to win games. There's still a lot of Titans fans here are just love this football team. So look, they're concerned, and I understand that they want this team to do well, and what they're seeing in the preseason is not really the best, but they're concerned, and I find that very appealing if you're a Titans fan.
That's a great observation, Joe, because that's exactly right. Yeah, the worst thing you can have is apathy. What I had at my alma mater, Baylor, apathy. And everybody knows when you have apathy, you have to create interest, generate excitement. And even if you win half your games, in NFL, that's impossible, but in college football, you got to give people hope. And right now, Titans fans have hope. This time next year, moving into that new stadium, after it's been tested with concerts, I think they're planning on doing, people are going to be so fired up. And you want to see improvement this year to a point where next year you think, man, this team has got a chance to compete for the playoffs. And that's what you want next year. People are going to be so pumped up. But the fact they're still interested now is great. New quarterback comes along, first overall pick. Then you have a new head coach, new coordinators. And that's why they are excited. And that's why they need, I think, it win at least 5. And if you double the win total, Amy Adams Strunk's going to be doing cartwheels down Broadway.
John McClain is with us. So a question that I'm sure you've been asked by Texans fans is, are the Texans going to trade for a receiver? Well, they have done that, as they have acquired a Kayshon Boutte from the Patriots for Jalen Reed and a 2028 7th-round pick. I mean, if I'm a Texans fan, I don't hate that move. I think he's got some talent.
That is a great move. Boutte's in the last year of his contract. He's 24. You want people who are hungry. He's going to be in auditioning all season long. Jaden Higgins will be back next year. Blew out his ACL last week. Excuse me. That gives him plenty of time to recover. They had signed a couple of guys, Sterling Shepard and Zay Jones. But making this deal for Boutte, who had a great touchdown against them in the wild card, second divisional round, was a tremendous pick. Jalen Reed's a good safety, but they're loaded in the secondary. And I think instead of trading him for a mid-round pick before cut down, something like this was a tremendous deal by Nick Caserio. It eases the pain because he's a little more proven than Jaden Higgins, who was going into his second year.
So what I was watching the game the other night. You got to see Mendoza firsthand. What were kind of some of your takeaways with him against the Texans?
Well, he struggled, and I watched him all week in practice. I went to all week. I've watched him, and I went to his press conference, and I talked to Raiders people about him, and they all swear by him. Now, a lot of that is because he's such a great kid. He gets it. He understands everything. He gets along with his teammates, the media, the fans, and he's real. And they just love him. They all said, this kid is special. Now he's got to be special on the field. It's going to be really hard to do because their team is terrible. But that's why Kirk Cousins is there. If Clint Kubiak really believes anybody thinks that starting quarterback is up for grabs, and Clint's got some property in his old neighborhood here that he'd like to sell. Because we all know it's going to be Cousins. It ain't going to be Mendoza. Maybe he doesn't play till the end of the year. The media wants him playing now. Well, that's for the media's entertainment. And a couple of media people were telling me, well, the only way you get better is by playing. I said, yeah, like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Tony Romo and Patrick Mahomes. Did those guys play? No.
Steve McNair.
And then Steve McNair, exactly. And so, no, you don't have to do that. And I think the way they're handling it is very smart. And Cousins understands what's going on, understands his role. And I just think it's a marriage made in heaven. Then he threw a pick six to a rookie linebacker, Wade Woodaz, in which he threw the ball behind a rookie running back, Michael Washington Jr. Woodaz caught it, went 80 yards, put him up 14-0. The only series Stroud played, they scored a touchdown, so it was 14-0. Then they bring in Davis Mills, make it 17-0, and they didn't play starters on defense, pull their first-team offense lineman, and when Stroud came out after that one drive. So in the first half, Texans had it going on, and they blew it 22-20 on the last play, and nobody gives a rat's you know what.
We will have more with John McClain coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe on this Monday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, here on this Monday, continuing with John McClain down in Houston. You mentioned Deshaun Watson earlier, John, and obviously you know him from his time in Houston. He's been named the starter in Cleveland. What's next? I mean, he's still young, but we know that's one of the worst, if not the worst, contracts ever in NFL history with the Browns. He's obviously had his off-the-field stuff Is this the opportunity for him to revive his career?
Well, it is, but I don't expect him back next year. What are they going to do? Give him $231 million guaranteed instead of $230? He's out of there. He's more of a pain than he's worth. They bite the bullet on about almost $87 million cap hit. Denver made the playoffs, taking an $84 million cap hit on Russell Wilson. They've got to get him out of there after this season. They could do like the Texans. The Texans paid him that last year not to even be around. They let him work out on the field before they went out there with one of the lower level guys on the staff. And, he's not had a good season since 2020. Think about that. That was start of COVID. And he plays these first two. If they're 0-2, I don't know how he could be the quarterback coming back home. If he wins the first two, he'll get a standing ovation. And he's 7-0 in his career against Jacksonville, which he did really well against here, of course. And I was stunned that Todd Monken named him the starter. I thought sure it'd be Shedeur Sanders. And, when I watched Watson, he was so tone deaf. I'll guarantee you he didn't tell his PR people, this is what I'm going to do, because they would have said, don't do it. Take the blame. Now, he came back today, listened, he tried to say the right things, but toothpaste is out of the tube. He's going to have to play well, and they're going to have to, split those first two for him to be welcome. And he still may not be welcomed back by the fans, who are, as you guys know, one of the most loyal fan bases in the country, and he has insulted them to the high heavens.
He has done that. John, it's been the downfall of dumb men for thousands of years. And now 49ers owner Jed York arrested on suspicion of engaging in prostitution. And I used to say, why? How? Now I'm not surprised by this. I mean, what just an absolute slap in the face for that franchise because of this guy.
It's undefeated, Joe. It's undefeated.
Right.
I wondered this with Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft, a multi-billionaire, could have chartered a 747 and loaded it up with women, flown all over the world, do any kind of partying he wanted. But no, he had to go into a strip center. And now York goes to a trailer park, and you can't imagine this is the only time. Oh my goodness, the first time they've ever done this stuff. And it is, I think of his wife and his kids. That's the first thing I thought about, and how humiliated they are. Now, I don't think Kraft got suspended, and Jed York's attorneys can say, whoa, now wait a minute. But the truth is, Jed York's not influential in the NFL. He's not a mover and shaker owner like Bob Kraft is. Jerry Jones has still got lawsuits out against him, and I don't know what the answer is for owners like this. Maybe AI.
Right? Well, yeah, exactly right. And now, well, just, he did it, whatever. But now, what do the reporters in San Francisco cover that team? What's their story for the next week? It's your owner got busted soliciting prostitution. That's going to be the question they get asked. So it goes beyond just an idiot owner getting arrested for this.
And also, you would think Kraft's name will get brought up again. I'm sure Kraft doesn't like it because now people are like, oh, well, remember what Bob Kraft did. And but the good thing for York is this didn't happen, say, in June, because then it'd be all through training camp. Well, then they got Kyle Shanahan's wreck. But it's close to the start of the season. Once the season starts, the fans are not going to be talking about Jed York on the front page or the lead item. They're going to be talking about the Niners and is Kyle Shanahan 100% recovered? And if Shanahan makes a bad decision, the concussion, he's not over the concussion. York is what it is. He's a 46-year-old married man with kids who did a really, really stupid thing.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do a little positive news there about things on the field. I think this Andy Reid and this team this year with Kelsey and Mahomes, I mean, they're on a mission to get things done. And, Andy Reid was asked, like, will you retire? He's like, well, all I know how to do is coach. But this team, John, intrigues me in so many ways with Mahomes' injury. Kelsey's probably last year. What's Andy Reid going to do? I'm really looking forward to the Chiefs this year because I think they're going to put it all together. They could be the team to beat. But Andy Reid, to me, is the X factor, John, with his football team going forward because the future is the future, but we don't know what's happening now. I just think they're going to come back loaded.
I'm glad that you said let's talk about something positive
Right.
and didn't just say, well, now let's talk about Andy Reid. And I'm like, oh, my God. And I asked Andy one time, we were at the Combine. He was waiting to do an interview, sitting on the back of his little stage, and I was sitting too. And he asked me when I was going to retire. I said, I don't know. I'm still having fun, even though the Texans are terrible. When are you going to retire? He said, I don't know what I'd do if it didn't have football. And so I think it's one of those deals. As long as your health is good and your family is cool with you coaching, and, of course, your owner is, Andy Reid could coach till he's 80. And yes, all he is a coach. I don't think he plays golf. I don't think you're going to see him running on the side of the road and have a heart attack. He just is a ball coach. And as far as the Chiefs, they probably love the position they're in because people are not predicting they're going to the Super Bowl. And it's weird because this time last year, everybody was. And the thing they got to worry about, they got a wide receiver, Rashee Rice, doesn't have a lick of sense. And I saw a report yesterday picking them to do really well. And one of the reasons was Rashee Rice. And I'm thinking, the guy should be suspended. You can't count on a head case like that. And they've had a lot of head cases at wide receiver. And the key is their offensive line. Will they finally get it intact? Can the defensive coordinators, Spagnuolo, still work wonders, work his magic with the players they have on the defense that's getting old? But the key, of course, is Patrick Mahomes. He's hungry. And if they protect him, he can make a good receiver, I think, out of anybody, and they could end up winning that division. I'm picking Denver to win it, but I think they'll be right there.
John, with all this news about NFL players going back to college, are you going to start covering the Houston Cougars now? Is that where this trend is going?
I wish Baylor could get some of them because Baylor's terrible. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. The system, not about the NIL, but about the portal, judges, the NCAA, Emmerich, everybody's let it fall apart. And that player from Cleveland, if he goes and he catches a pass for LSU, everybody right now is going to be looking for players who are cut. And he knew he wasn't going to make it. No telling what LSU offered him. And I think we're going to see more and more, and they'll probably start in the SEC.
In your mind, what can the NFL do, if anything? Can they – I know this guy's an undrafted guy, but, can they step in and help some of this along since the NCAA won't do anything?
Absolutely not. They have no say. They are run by a union. The college is not a union. A lot of people are saying they need to form a union. How hard would it be to get every kid on every college program to sign up for a union? That'd be really crowded meetings that they would have once a year. But that thing's collectively bargained. I read a great story about outlaw agents now who are making more money than NFL agents because there's no restrictions on them. There's no laws on them. And they're taking advantage of it. It's not them. It's the fault of the system. And even if the government intervenes, you can have a judge who can rule in the favor of your team where he cheers for every week. What's going to keep that from happening?
Yeah.
If I'm Diego Pavia, I'm going back to the judge and say, hey, hit me one more time.
No, you're right. Why not? Right? If it's there, I don't blame the kids, John. I don't blame them at all.
I don't even blame the schools all that much. They're it's like, okay, you keep ruling in this direction. What do you want me to do?
That's what you do. You try to take advantage of the rules. Do they still break rules? Of course they do. And they cheated like crazy for decades, and now it's not cheating. At some point, they might have to go back cheating again.
Good point, John.
That's a great send off there. Appreciate it as always. We will talk to you next week.
Guys, thank you very much as always.
Absolutely. John McClain joining us on the program as he does every Monday at 2:00.
Right.
They'll find more creative ways to cheat.
I mean, think about when he came in the NFL in the mid-'70s to what you're seeing now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's night.
You never dreamed of any of this.
No, nothing like that. Night and day.
It's good.
I always wonder what like Jerry Glanville would think about this, or Bum Phillips, or John Madden. Just the legends, like, what the hell is
well, I
going
mean,
on
think
here?
about some of the college coaches that got busted for cheating that would be like, well, what the hell?
Yeah, right?
Like, come on.
Crazy.
We'll have more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. He's Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. Appreciate John McClain for joining us in the last segment. This is from earlier on the Titans. 3337 says, if Helm keeps his feet in bounds and Tate catches a ball that hits his hands, we're talking about 10 for 12, 100-plus yards. I thought he looked better. I think they're making him do the small stuff first. Talking about Cam Ward.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Look, it's fine. I get all this.
Ifs and buts.
Right. And we could be concerned. There's no problem with that. But just look, again, it's all about the first game, and he could go 22 of 27 for 300 yards and then 3 touchdowns, and we're like, you guys are stupid. We'll sit on the show on that Monday
Absolutely.
and do all that. We just want this team to win games. That's it. We want them to win games. And last night was not a good look for this football team at all. When your number
well,
twos,
they won. You got that wish.
when your number twos are kicking the snot out of your number ones, it's not good. But you got to work on it. We did earlier before you got in today. We had this thing about, had to bring it up because it drove me crazy. And you know what it is? I talked about you Friday night on the high school football show because there's a high school football team that lost a game on the shotgun at the 1 yard line.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, Tim House will be on tomorrow with us. We'll ask him. I still don't know why teams are running the shotgun at the half yard line. And somebody came at me last night and said, well, they don't practice it. So that's a dumb conversation you got going. Why not practice it?
Yeah.
Why not? You can practice. You could put a quarterback under center, put his hands up under his butt, and then do a quarterback sneak. It's all the time.
I don't. So
I don't get it.
There are a lot of times that you can hear something and see something that's like, okay, I'll use this example. The onside kick in arena football. Like, all right, I understand there's a strategy there. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand there was some thought process behind it. Okay. Well, in this case, it makes no sense. I don't care what, and I know coaches have tried to tell us here's why you do it, and all kind of the same concept of you want to give yourself more room to score. But if you're on the half yard line, you do one of two things. You quarterback sneak it, or you find the biggest guy on the sideline and say, we're going to hand you the ball and you're going to rush through this line.
Right. Yeah.
That's simple. What you're, and then you tell everybody else to get behind him.
Yeah, football is not rocket science, and I will say that I've said this for years. It's not rocket science. It's football, right? And you don't put your kids. It's the coach at malpractice, whatever you want to call it. But it was just a terror. I don't know why they do that. They snap the ball to the quarterback at the 5. He hands to the running back at the 5, who's got no head of steam. And at the 2 yard line, he gets squashed. He squirms his way to the 1 and whatever. Football's football, man. It's a violent game. Robert Saleh talks about it all the time. Just line down and say, push. We're going to set the ball, and it's what you work out for in January, February, March, and April. Nobody wants to be in the gym. This is why you do it. And it just drives me insane that goes on, and a football team lost the game that night because of that.
615-737-1025. Do you want to argue about something first or take Dustin's call?
Dustin.
All right, let's go to Dustin in Hopkinsville. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, guys? How you doing, Big Joe? You doing all right today?
What's up, Bubba?
Oh, not much. Hey,
I'm good.
So hey, Chase. Sorry, you were mincemeat there, man. I just feel like I need to get Big Joe.
That's okay, man.
Sometimes, and I need to say hi to Joe.
That's good. We're
all good, man. All good.
Yeah, man. So for me, the whole Gunnar Helm, we know Cam Ward can do that, but I know Cam Ward can scramble and do backyard football. I just don't know if Cam Ward can sit in the pocket like a real quarterback. And I don't need to see Cam Ward for 5 to 10 seconds run around the backfield and run negative yards with the ball like a loaf of mom's bread you're not trying to crush. And that very well could have been another play as long as he held the ball. It would have been a super great play. If you're, down by 6 or 7, 3 points, you're trying to get the 50-yard line. Sometimes it's best just to show us you can throw it away. And I know they're trying to learn things, but we know Cam Ward can do that. We need to see him dirt this ball more. We need to see him throw it away. We need to see take the check down like he did to Pollard. And I do commend him because, man, that's something we just didn't see them use Pollard with last year. We seen them that Spears thing, little tech guy on the outside, and I really thought that's something that the running backs last night were But, I mean, that was one of the bright spots. And then Cedric Gray, other than his attitude, I guess, at one point,
That was a weak
the
call.
thumbs down thing was fine. It was fine. It was fine.
That was a weak call.
And he went back. He went back at 8 as well afterward. That was a man on fire. He didn't go and do anything wrong. He let it motivate him, and I really like that dude. He's arguably, probably, in my opinion, second best athlete other than Simmons on our team. I really think between the ears. But I don't buy this stuff, that Saleh and keeps saying, there's the vanilla this and that. You don't go out and play your starters that much just to go out and get them demoralized, bring down the morale. I mean, I guess you learn, but I'm not buying it. Cam is not getting it between the ears to protect the football. And people, it is just like Levis. It is on a different level. It looks different, but he is not listening. He is not taking care of the football, and he's not becoming a meme or putting his body in danger so much. But dude, it's bad. I'm saying I'm waiting until it's Jets football game. I really am. But I said this morning, I'm not afraid to say it now. This team, in my opinion, is bad.
Yep, I'm with you. Got to run on that, but thanks for the call, bud.
Thanks, pal.
Yep.
I mean, right now, yeah, it's hard to say otherwise. Yeah, I'm glad he brought that up. Him running with the football and just hanging it out there. I mean, don't you learn that in Pee Wee not to do that?
Well, here's what I told Dr. Crane earlier. When Cam Ward came in high school at 0, nobody believed in him, right?
Yeah.
So he had to do things to improvise to get his game going. And then he went to Washington State. Nobody believed in him there. And he did the same thing. He went to Miami. Cristobal believed him a little bit, had to prove himself again. I think Cam thinks he's got to prove himself every single time he gets the football.
You don't have to put the cape on.
Make things happen, right?
Yeah. You don't have to put the cape on every play, man.
And I think it's learned behavior. It's going to be a lot to break him of that. But I don't blame him because, hell, he was a 0-star in 2020, and he's the number 1 pick of the draft. So there's talent there, man. We just got to see it come together.
You know how Gruden does those quarterback camps, and like he was on ESPN forever, and he'd be sitting in the film room. And I can remember multiple times him sitting there with quarterbacks, and they're watching the film, and he just looks at him and goes, "What are you trying to do here?" And he goes, "Well, I think I'm trying to do too much." And he just and he just looks at him and goes, "It's okay to take the sack. Like, you don't want to, but sometimes you have to."
That's right.
Like, it's okay to throw it away. It's okay to live to fight another play. And I'm with Dustin on that I think that Cam needs to just accept that and not have to, like we said, not have to put the cape on every play.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, with all your coaching buddies, have you ever heard of, because he said it doesn't seem like Cam likes standing there in the pocket. Do any coaches have a drill where they either, hold their feet or something where they can't move out of the pocket, or they spray paint a pocket? Like,
never.
I would love to see, because I think he needs that. Like, it's like you can watch, like, he almost wants to leave the pocket.
Right.
When he doesn't have to. Now, if he's getting chased, then I get that.
Oh, exactly. No, I think you could look, if you're 1-2 reads aren't there and you feel the pressure. And we said earlier, I think Cam looks at his first read and knows that if he looks at his second read, he's going to get sacked. I think he's like, last year I got sacked. But the ball control and the patience has got to be there. And then Brian Dable has got to work on that with him. But again, the Jets game is the game. I mean, that's the one we got to see. If they come on that Jets game, they play like they did last night with the Seahawks, this is going to be a long year for this football team.
Okay, we'll probably spend more time on this tomorrow if we disagree on it. I can't decide if we're going to or not. But with all this stuff about, like, with Daquan Wright being able to commit to LSU and leave the Browns, I believe that the NCAA should rescind the punishment to Arian Carter. He should not be suspended.
I don't want him suspended.
I know.
But he broke a rule.
I understand, but that rule is null and void in my opinion now. It doesn't matter anymore.
But they don't care about you.
It doesn't matter anymore.
They don't care about you.
They need to do it today, and then they
broke a rule.
He
broke a rule.
No, sir, he didn't. I don't care.
He broke a rule.
He didn't break a rule.
You go to Mapco and steal a Snickers, you're breaking the law.
I understand.
Right?
I'm not going to do that.
You go down and steal one of Nick Saban's Mercedes. Is there a difference? Let me ask you: is there a difference And whether
No,
you
but he
steal
paid it
let
back.
me answer the question. I don't care. You steal a Snickers at Mapco, or you go take one of Nick Saban's Mercedes. Is it the same thing?
No, it's stealing.
It's stealing,
But
right?
he didn't
You
steal.
broke a rule. You
Okay,
broke a
this
rule
is
that was
different,
there.
though.
Whether it's $427 or $42,000. I hate it. I think he's a damn good player. He's from down the road. I hate it. But you broke a rule you knew was there. That's my problem.
But I thought the case was he was going to go into the draft. He had taken this flight, and then ultimately his stock wasn't high enough, so he decided to go back. So that's why he paid the money back. How is that breaking a rule?
But he broke the rule the first time for the agent to pay for the flight. He broke the rule.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
But-
I hate it.
but
it's
is
a
it-
dumb rule. I hate
All
it.
right, let me ask the question. Was he breaking the rule, or what had in his mind he was going to the NFL, so he didn't see that he was breaking
Ignorance is not an excuse.
the rule? Okay. Well, it should be rescinded because
I'm with you.
they're making up rules as they go now.
Right, they are.
And if you're going to let a guy come out of NFL camp and join
Right.
the team, then this is a BS rule.
It's all screwed
And if I'm
up.
Tennessee, I am calling the NCAA office today going, if you want a lawsuit on your hands and a bunch of PR that's going to be bad,
do it.
Then keep this suspension. Otherwise, I would make it go away real fast.
I'm with you. Do it. But as it states right now,
I understand.
you broke it.
I understand.
And ignorance is not an
but
excuse.
They're
I hate
looking
it.
worse and worse.
I'm with you 1,000%, man.
All right, with that, let's get to what day isn't celebrity birthdays. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Monday. I wish we had more time for this because people are weighing in.
You wish you had a Snickers is what it is.
3986. If you bring the Snickers back and told them I forgot to pay for it, is it a crime?
It's a crime, man.
And our buddy Greg Pogue, which Pogue and McFarland debuted today,
Right.
had a good time on 94.9 The Fan. Stealing a Snickers bar and stealing a Mercedes are two different things. One gets you a slap on the wrist, and the other you go to prison. He's got a point.
He does have a very good point.
With that, let's tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays.
Okay, first on the docket, we have Pluto Demoted Day, so not recognized as
What happened to Pluto?
just not recognized as one of the planets in the solar system anymore. Let's see.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dog.
Oh no, Pluto. That's a soft spot. In
So
my
did
heart.
I. I thought you were talking about the dog too.
No. Let's see here. National Waffle Day is today. Everybody loves good waffle. Mount Vesuvius Day is today. Weather Complaint Day. William.
It's every day in Nashville.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Except for today. It's nice today.
You can go for a nice walk, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
There you
Is
go.
today a Chamber of Commerce Day?
It is.
Okay.
It's beautiful out.
William Wilberforce Day is today. National Knife Day is today. Be careful with those. International Strange Music Day. Can Opener Day is today. And the last two on the list, International Day Against Intolerance, Discrimination, and Violence-Based Musical Preferences, Lifestyle, and Dress Code. And the last one is National Peach Pie Day.
National Peach Pie. You know, I told you about your pie.
Don't give it away for free,
Don't give away your pie for free.
especially if it's the cream one.
What does a can opener really need a day?
Yeah, if you're trying to open up like the cream for the filling of the pie, you got to.
How dare you? What if it's a left-handed can opener?
Well, you go to the Leftorium.
That's right.
Ask for Ned.
It belongs to his own day. All right, time for celebrity birthdays because he's within two. Dr. Crane's been on a hell of a run. You ready to go first again?
Let's do it.
All right, Howell today is Super Bowl winning Super Bowl winning coach Mike Shanahan. How old is Mike Shanahan today?
74.
I'm gonna say he's 71.
74 exactly.
Nice.
Chaser, how old is Cal Ripken Jr. today?
63.
68.
66.
Jeez.
3-0. Dr. Crane, how old is Reggie Miller today?
61.
I'm gonna say he's 56.
61. Are you think you look at any screen back there?
I promise you can come back here and check.
I don't want to. 5-0. Chaser. Oh,
Vingan got an earpiece in with him.
No.
all right. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to the head coach of the Nashville Predators, How old Chasers Andrew Brunette?
51.
48.
53. Chasers on the boards. 5-1. Dr. Crane, how old is former Tennessee running back, Houston Texans running back, Arian Foster?
44.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna say he is 42.
40. It's now 5-2. Chaser, how old is actor, friend of the show, Steve Guttenberg?
63.
58.
68. Dr. Crane, how old is Academy Award-winning actress Marlee Matlin?
73.
81.
61. Chaser, how old is Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle. 61.
58.
53. Dr. Crane, how old is talk show host Craig Kilborn? Used to be on ESPN, and he's disappeared.
He was on the Late Late Show, too.
Let's go 51.
60.
64. How old is newsman David Gregory? Chase, David Gregory.
59.
57.
56. You're up 6-2. Chase, Dr. Crane, how old is actor Carmine Giovanazzi from CSI New York? Carmine.
63.
67.
53. Chaser, actor Chad Michael Murray was on One Tree Hill.
48.
52.
45, and that's it. And the winner is Dr. Crane up 6-2.
I knew you were going to not do one. Happy 81st birthday to Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Why is he not on my list?
I don't know. Your list is about to get disqualified. Because there's
no Bill Clinton
last week there was no Bill Clinton. I was like, what are we doing?
Right. There's nothing. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have a talk with the crew afterwards. We usually do our show meeting with my staff and writers at 4 on Monday. They'll be talking to today.
I'm with Chase on this one. We need a little upbeat with the list here.
Hey, man, stay in your lane. I don't get on you about your dumb. What day is it?
Did Anthony Hankerson play last night for the Seahawks?
I don't know.
He's a running back because he's being waived and he's going to enter the transfer portal.
That's 2 they've had.
That's 2 running backs. Yeah. TJ Harden, right?
Harden, yeah.
I love it. Every day you wake up, there's something bizarre. I'm gonna see tomorrow that Jerry Rice is going back to college. Just something. Derek Mason needs to go back. I would drive
Michigan
Derek
State
Mason to Michigan State.
Derek Mason.
I would drive him up there tomorrow if he would go try out for
Is
them.
Derek standing back there?
Yeah.
By the way, so yesterday we're at the Bellagio and we're walking through the planetarium or whatever you call it, and Ricky's in front of me, and I see this guy, and I'm like, "This is Draymond Green." And sure enough, it was Draymond Green. Speaking of Michigan State,
did you go say what's up to him?
Ricky did, and he said, "What's up?" Back. He was nice.
What did he say?
What's up? He said, "What's up?"
Did you ask him if you know Derek Mason?
No, but
Say what up, Dell?
Go green.
Go white. That's all you got to say.
Nice.
That is going to do it for us here today. D-Mace and DVD coming up next.
As we leave the show every day to our guys out there, you're doing awesome. We love you guys. Reach out if you need to talk. I still need you to go to therapy when things are kind of getting rough. You don't know where to turn. We're always here for you. I need you to go to therapy. Change my life can change your life. unitycares.com/Big Joe. To the men who've gone to therapy, have reached out in the last month, God bless you. I love you so much for doing that. And you telling me how it's changed your life. I just need you to go to one time. And listen to the guys out there. If you're having a rough day, know this. You are your best thing. You are your best thing. You're strong. You're powerful. You're beautiful. We love you. Reach out if you talk to us. We love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, please know how much God truly loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming your way next. 102.5 The Game.